We are live. So, I see Sue and Geraldine and Pat and Louise. Susan's back. Yay, Pat. We're just going to jump right in tonight, guys. We had a couple of people ask me questions in the group, and I have already uploaded the file. This tonight is creator only file. I've cut mine. That shouldn't even be here. I've cut mine. We're going to be putting together the split heart box, and I have one ready to go. Super cute, super fun, and that file is uploaded for all of my Patreons and Ko-fi supporters. I thank you. Greatly appreciate you. Appreciate my moderators. Hey, Hill. That's Gerald, guys, in case some of you don't know. There's Paula. Patty. So we're going to be putting this together, but just before I came on, Liz had asked me a question, and I had pulled up some of her chats, and I see that she's a little bit confused, and I want to help her out with her files. So I made her a file, but I really want her to figure out how I did that file. So we're going to take a look in Design Space, and I'm just going to go over it real quick so that there's a reference, because there may be some more of you out there that are wondering how you can achieve and make your own too. So she had sent me a Pinterest project, and it was a camper with the heartbeat and a little heart. And I told her, well, if you want that one, you're going to have to go buy it, because that's one for sale. I can't make you that exact one. There could be copyright issues, things like that. But we can get really close, and we can get similar in Design Space. And so I made her this one using some Design Space images. And you can see right here, I used the heartbeat from our Heartbeats cartridge, and I used a heart, and I used the heart from the Cake Basics, and then I used a camper from May the Forest Be With You. So, I mean, there are several things, and then I used some basic shapes too. So super easy and super simple, but if you're brand new, it can be very, very, very intimidating on how to do this. So you can do a couple of things. You can go and you can upload, and we're not going to get into uploads tonight. You can upload your campers and upload things like that and create it, or you can buy the SVG that you found that's for sale, or you can make your own. And you can make your own from uploading shapes that you want to use, or you can use your Cricut Access shapes. There are several options available for us. Let me see if I can get my logo off there. I'm going to shrink this screen up just a little bit so that won't happen. Here we go. So let's go in, and I am just going to get a brand new project. I don't want that one. And show you guys really quick and how easy it is to create it straight from scratch. Super simple, super easy. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go look for a heartbeat image. And you can type heart or heartbeat. I think when I did heartbeat, I got nothing, but when I put an S on it, I got it. So I had an S on it and I didn't get it. So I took the S off, still not there. I know it's on the heartbeat cartridge. I think I searched EKG or something like that, and it popped up. But it's very common, so I went to heartbeats and searched, and there they are. There's your heartbeats cartridge. So I selected it and took a look. What would help me make that she showed me with the heart in it? Well, there wasn't one with the heart, of all things, but there is this one. So I was like, well, that's going to be a little difficult to do, especially for a beginner. So I looked for one that had something wide in the middle of it, like this baseball, but then I'm going to have to clip a lot of that out. And I decided this one. This one has a nice flat image in there for a camper to go in instead of a mountain. So I selected it and insert the image. And you can go and you can get all your images at once if you want. You can do that. I'm just bringing them in so that she can see and make it simple. Then I'm going to need a heart, because there's not a heartbeat on that. So I'm going to go back to images here at the top, and I'm going to select heart. And I'm looking for a heart that has an open, it's just a frame of a heart. I don't want a solid heart because, as we know, when we shrink our images and do that, they skew. They don't always shrink down. So I want one to start with the heart line already, like something like that. But I don't want to pay for it. I want something like this that's closed. And if you look in Design Space, you will find several. This one will work. This one would work. It's hand drawn, and the EKG isn't hand drawn. So I'm trying to match up just as the best way that I can. So I just kept scrolling because we have tons of them in there. And there, that one's perfect. And I selected that. So I can bring them in and take a look. And this one kind of has the dips on the side. And I was afraid that that might, with the sharpness of these, not work. So I got rid of it and I kept this one. So now I need a camper. So let's go and get our camper. And this one right here, this one is 99 cents. I chose that one. I'm sorry, Liz, if you're watching, I will pick another one. I didn't realize I picked one that was for sale. Let's see. And I don't want to print and cut. I know that there was one in there. I saw it. Let's go camp. Let's search camp. There's a little square one. That one's cute. I'll select him just in case. I have this one here. This one will work. We can slice a little window out of it. So I'm going to insert my images. And I'm going to take that one and I am going to contour it. And I am going to hide all contours because I don't want all that sliced stuff in it. And we need a little window and a door in there. So I'm going to make myself a little door. I'm going to grab a heart and a circle. I mean a square and a circle, not a heart. I got hearts stuck in my mind. Valentine's. I'm just going to kind of line those up. I'm going to select the two. I'm going to line and I am going to center them horizontally. And I'm just going to weld it. And now I have that little arch-shaped door. I can make it a little narrow. Skew it up a little bit. Make it look a little cute there. Right there in front of the steps, we need a door. So I'm going to take those two. Remember, we can only slice 2 layers. And I'm going to slice it. Now I have a little door in my camper. And now we need a little window. So I'm just going to do maybe an oval, I don't know, an oval window, a square window. You can do the rounded corners. Let's just do the rounded corners. Go to images and I'm going to search for a square with rounded corners. So this is how easy it is to use your shapes and go in and get those. They have the free ones. I think they're in red and blue. There's a purple one that's kind of sharp corner. Here we go. Let's select that one. And I'm going to ungroup it. I just want to use that little inside piece. I apologize if my dogs bark. Somebody must be walking their dogs. So we're just going to put us a little window back here. Just figure out where you want it and then you're going to slice again. And now we have a window in there. If you want to put panes in there, you can put your 2 little squares and skew them up and crosshair them in there if you want. We'll just put one in there. And we'll do that by welding it. I'm going to stretch it out. And oh, I locked it. That's why. Super easy, super simple. And weld. Now I have all of my shapes. I'm going to get rid of that. How do I get that mountain out of there? I'm just going to go and I'm going to get a square. And I'm going to set it right up on top of that line. I don't want to go below that line because we want to keep the integrity of that line. So I am going to duplicate that square because I'm going to need it again. I'm going to select the two images. You're going to slice. Now we have no mountain on there. And I'm going to get rid of this. This is all trash. There's the square I sliced with. There's the piece that sliced out from the square. And then there's the trash, the original. So the next thing I want to do is I want to take a square and I want to split this heartbeat, because my camper, I'm going to shrink him down, he's a little tall. My camper I want on there, and I may tilt him just a little, just to make sure that this doesn't have an opening right there. Let's rotate it just slightly down. There we go. So now that's touching the line and the tire's touching the line. That's perfectly fine. And then my heart, I'm going to size that up. And that's kind of crowding it up. So I'm going to take my square and I'm going to slice this line. Going to get rid of the trash. Doesn't matter which one you keep. Just going to pull that out just a little bit. Not much. Just a little bit. And I got rid of my square. I needed that. And I'm just going to slice the tip off of that heart. And get rid of all of that. Now I can bring that heart right down in there on top of that line. Just want to line it up, get it right on top of it, and then bring this one over and put that one in there. Then we can select them all and we can weld. And there you have it. And now you just created, let me pull that one up on Pinterest. And show it to you guys. And here's what that is for sale on Pinterest. Now again, you can upload your own or you can make your own. So super easy, super simple when you see something like this to go in and make your own image. Okay? It doesn't have to be exact. You can get really close and it will still be just as cute, and it's going to be your own creation. And if you want to do outlines like are in this one, all you're going to do instead of slicing the holes like I did is just slice those lines. Okay, just like that square I got had the red background. You can slice the blue square from the red one and then skew it up and get this line and cut it out. Super easy, super simple. So, I mean, if you want to buy images, you can buy images all day long. There are tons of places out there. I recommend, my go-to is Design Bundles. I like Design Bundles, the Hungry JPEG. I've bought from them before. I've never had any issues with those guys. So, you know, those are going to be the trusted sources that I give. I'm not going to recommend sites that I won't use myself, because some of those could be iffy. And I don't buy off of Etsy. There have been too many bad files come out of Etsy. So, but you guys, you can do this. You can do this. And it takes, you're not going to be as fast at it as I was just then, especially if you're new. You are not going to be fast at it. Don't rush yourself. Take your time. Study the videos, play along with the videos that we do like tonight, practice that. You will get it. It will start clicking, but you have to practice. You just like any other thing that you learn. You're never going to remember it all in one sitting, and we don't expect you to. That's what we have the groups for, so we can ask questions when you get stuck. And that's why I prefer that you ask a question in chat and ask us so that we can show you and walk you through the steps. Because if somebody does it for you all the time, it goes back to that old adage, and I know I use it a lot. You can give a man a fish, or you can teach him to fish. And I prefer to teach them to fish. That way they're never going to go hungry. So instead of buying it from somebody else, let's jump in there and work on it. And if you get stuck, we're there to help you. Yay, we have a new subscriber. We are there to help you. And I know a few of them have come to me and said, I'm scared to ask in chat. I don't want people to laugh or make. Nobody's going to do that. We won't tolerate that in our group. Our moderators are excellent. If you see it, report it. They will take care of it. That's what they're there for. They're there for you. Okay, so tonight's file, and if you have questions, guys, put them in caps, ask them. The moderators will help answer, and if we have to come back and go on screen, we will show you. We will not hesitate to come back over here and show you. All right, let me save that. I want to save that for her just in case she doesn't like that other one, because I used the 99-cent camper in there. I'll call that one Happy Camper. How about that? And Liz, if you're watching, I'll get that link for you. There you are, Liz. I'll get that link for you and post it to you in your messenger, sweetie. So let's go over, and I don't want to customize that. I want my projects. That's what I want. I need coffee, guys. I need coffee. There we go. This is tonight's file, and somebody had sent me a photo and said, can we make this? And so I went to work. We've got just a little bit of a lip right here on this, guys, but it's not noticeable really when you put the file together. And that is because we don't have a curved line in our shapes. We don't have anything with a curved line. So I had to go and get something that had some contour lines on it for cut lines. And I used this paisley piece here, because that piece right there had the lines that I could stretch and I could maneuver a little bit with a curve to them, so that I could do them in Surecuts a lot and then upload them, but then you guys can't use the file. So I used that piece in Access to get these cut lines. I have attached this set together so that it will cut on one sheet of paper. You're going to need 2 sheets of your pattern, which is the white here. That's the best I could do with it. So it's going to take 3 sheets to make this box. And this is your pattern paper. If you detach it and ungroup it, you will notice that these are cut opposite. You need those to cut opposite. And I'm going to show you why when we go to put this together. Because I messed up, and the inside of my box, I'll show you here in just a second, isn't pretty on the inside on my mock-up because I messed up. But the file's set up right. And then you're going to need 1 sheet of your solid color or a coordinating pattern. The camper, I showed how to make your own design out of that one, Deborah. You can watch back. Replay will be ready. You can't get the file to load. It wasn't made on the online version. Connie, message me, and after the live, I will send you the link, and we'll see if that works. Maybe it was me. I may have to go in and grab a link from mobile to get it to work. If anybody else is having a problem getting the file to open, let me know, please. Connie, don't forget to message me so that I make sure you get your file. So let's go over and make it. I'm just going to move my keyboard out of the way. So I have it set up, and I just put mine together wrong because I put this piece, which should have been down here, and this piece should have been up there, so that my pattern would have carried on the inside. But I have it set up, and then when you put them together, your images should match. Like so. Your butterfly is going to line back up. So, you're using the desktop. Okay. I know that the new system has messed us up with file sharing links. I have a secondary backup plan in place, but we'll see if I can't get it to work for you. So after you've cut it, you're going to have 2 solid pieces, and then you're going to have 2 hearts. They are the same size. I started to make one slightly smaller, but I didn't find the need for it for this box. You can make this box smaller, but personally I wouldn't. I think that's a good size. You could go bigger. Bigger is no problem, except you got to watch that you don't get over 11.5 inches length on these pieces. Okay, so that's what you need to watch there, because you can always separate where I have it attached and detach them and cut on larger paper. So the first thing you're going to do with your solid pieces is fold those tabs back and fold all of these tabs over. And I know there are a lot of them. And the reason there are a lot of them is because we're going to have to work this paper into a curve to make it fit that base. So the more tabs you have, the easier it is to get it to stick and hold in those places. I tried it with less tabs and it didn't do well. I didn't like it. You don't want to fold it down below your score line, but you do want to get those folded down on the score line best you can. Just fold them back. And then you're going to want to, you can do this before or after, you're going to want to get a little curve going in them by pulling on it to work with your cardstock. I'm using Cricut. This is Cricut 80 pound. So you just want to get a little curve in it. And again, you can do it before you do your folding. Totally up to you. Just like so. Alright, and they are different. You can, if you'll look at the pieces, I already folded that one. This one has a reinforcement tab down here on this end. But you're just going to fold them all. And it doesn't matter which direction you really use these in. Which one's right, which one's left, doesn't matter on the base. Just going to fold. You know what I did? I forgot. I'll just do it on my... I was going to put my tape runner on there because it's a lot easier than trying to glue all of these little tabs before I folded them, but actually I couldn't do that because they would stick. This is better anyway. So I've got to figure out which is my textured side. That's my textured side. And these are going to be glued just like this on the base, okay? And I'm going to start with this piece right here, and I'm going to put that on the tip of this heart. It helps if you put it in the right way. Right here. I want the very tip of my heart to end right there. Okay? Very important. That's going to give you that good sharp point down at the base. So I'm just going to take my tape runner, because this goes all the way around, and I'm just going to put some tape. I forgot to put my paper under there. And it doesn't matter if it's out of the line. If it gets more on the inside, doesn't matter at this point, guys. Because it's all this is going to get covered on this piece here. So I'm just going to go around this whole heart and put some tape runner around it. We're going to use glue too, but we're going to start with tape runner. I just don't want any open gaps all the way around. Yep. So just like this, my point right there, and I'm just going to start sticking those down. You want them flush up against this edge. Because trust me, trying to glue and hold that while all of those glue, I did it with that one. I was like, no, this has got to be easier. We don't have time for all of that. But we are going to glue it. Just giving it a good pinch. And you can see even with the tape runner, it's iffy. We're just basically tacking it down. Temporary. And then you can see that the end, it's going to go right into that V. Okay. And I'm not going to stick it on my paper. I'm just going to kind of stick it down and work it. If you have a Teflon sheet, which I had over here and I don't know what happened to it, that's the best thing to work with when you're doing it this way. So I got that one stuck, and now I want to do the other one. This one you want opposite. So the tab on this one is going to glue onto this piece. So now we want to work this piece in. So I'm going to go ahead and glue. Oops, not going to use that one. I forgot to put my pen in it. And this one is clogged for sure. I don't know why. One second, guys. I need a glue. And I am using Art Glitter Glue. I forgot. I had so many things going on. I didn't get everything out. My OBS had an issue. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this tab at the bottom. And this is where we're going to line up these two pieces. Give yourself a nice sharp point. Just going to give that a second to grab. Can you imagine me gluing all of those teeny tiny little tabs that way? Y'all probably heard me screaming. You got it, Jamie? Make sure you can get it open, Connie. I'm just going to give those a little push. Bring all of this together. You want this point right here really tight, guys. So I'm just going to hold it and flip it over. Now this tab, I know I had it bent the other way, and that's fine, but we're going to bend it back against that piece there. Let me just undo those. And that's why the tape helps. I'm going to glue this tab here since I know that everything is dry fit. Ooh, I forgot I don't have a tip on that. Going to get it in there really good. I'm going to press that down. And I'm just going to bend this tab backwards because we're going to glue it on the back side of this one. Just want everything to stay in place just for a minute. So I'm going to glue that tab. Glue the one on the end. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this one. And we're going to pull that in. That guy slid on me. The repositionable glue thing is a send on that. Okay. So we're just going to go in here with all those tabs down, run it right around tight, and I'm bringing that tab to the inside. I got one tab that just doesn't want to play fair. Wants to keep popping to the top. Stick. There we go. Yay! Get in there. Give it a press down and a second to hold. You just want this in tight, guys. And it can be a little bit of a booger, but it went. And then we're just going to glue this tab. I'm going to fold it back against this one to create that point inside. Just like that. And I'm off. Try to get yours even. Mine's off. I bent it. There we go. Yay. Give it a little pinch. Then you're going to take this one, and on this textured side, which is your good side, you're going to glue it. We're going to glue it good, especially around these edges, because that's where we're going to stick our tabs. And you're going to line that up right on the bottom. Give it a good push. And I'm going to spread that glue out and around the edges. Got a little seepage out. That's okay. And that is the base. Those little things can be boogers, but it's a cute, 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 cute box. So now when you take your hearts off the mat, you're going to take them off, and this is going to be your first one. And what I did is I flipped them over and I numbered them. 1, 2, 3, and 4, each one. And they come off the mat this way. So you're going to number them all, but you're going to have to flip 2 over and make them match, if that makes any sense. So you should have 2 pieces with your pattern on each side. So flip them and number them, mark them any way you want on the inside to help you remember. And this is going to be my top piece. And then this is going to be the bottom of my top piece. Okay, so I have 2 of them just alike. Oops, let me flip those over. Yep, I had it right. So that you have them, and they'll all line up, but you can see I have 2 that go this direction, 2 that go this direction, and if you cut it just like I have it laid out, then you'll have your pattern piece on the bottom, because these are going to go on these. So this will be the top here, and then this will be the 2 bottom pieces being inside this way. Okay, so you'll have one inside and one here, and then you'll have one on top and one here. That way your box will be pretty and it will be lined on the inside. If you want it that way. If you don't, you can cut them all the same way. But that's how they're going to go together on each side with these. And you're just, again, you're going to fold all of these tabs over on both sides. Including the big tabs on this end. You have two big tabs. Curvy boxes can be tricky because of these tabs, but if you want a good curve, you have to have them. Yes, this is the, oops, I just tore my tab. Don't do that. Be careful when you're doing yours. I looked away. Just give yourself a good curl. You can do it before, you can do it after you fold the tabs down. That's from something else. And then again, on this one, we're going to fold all of our tabs. This is the Anna Griffin. I'll show you guys here in just a second. I have it sitting right here. I was going to do a different one, different paper, but I didn't have 2 sheets of the pattern for it, so. This is the Rose Medley right here. That's what we're using tonight. This one would make a gorgeous one. This is the Pastel Meadow. I was going to use this color combination, but I had 2 sheets of that I didn't want. I wanted this to be my base, and then this would be inside, and then I wanted this to be my top, but I didn't have a second sheet, so I need to order another pack. That is Cricut. You can, guys, it's still available as far as I know. I don't think it's discontinued. So we're going to start with, I call these the comma pieces. They look like little commas or apostrophes. We're going to start with those in one of these. And how do I want that side? Again, you're going to start, I'm going to start with this heavy piece, this big notched, and I am going to glue this one, guys. But I am going to glue it to the same color as the inside. You want your pretty side up on this, okay? And you want it to meet up right there at that end. And that's all I'm doing is just gluing that tab. This is the inside of the box, and you want that pretty piece on the inside. Just going to give that a second to hold. And I'm just going to run, this one I'm gluing just because I thought that the tape runner would be easier, but doesn't seem to be any easier either way that you go, and that way you guys can see both methods. It's just small tabs, and you're just going to have to work with them. And it doesn't matter if it's pretty, the gluing is pretty, because it's going to get covered. Just give yourself some glue and start walking that on there and keeping it flush against the side of the paper. You can see that. Just going to keep walking that in till it dries. Till it sticks, I should say. Just keep working your tabs. Maybe the glue is a little bit easier. Maybe it was my paper that was giving me the problem yesterday. But you don't want to go all the way around with your glue on this, because it doesn't go all the way around. So just be aware of that. Bonnie, are you leaving us? Bonnie has to work tomorrow. And then these last few, I'm just going to put the glue on the tab themselves, just so I don't go too far with my glue. You'll be able to hide it if you do in this step, so it's not that big of a deal. So what else is everybody else working on? We are going to be live on Wednesday this week, which is not a normal Wednesday, because we won't be live Friday, which is a holiday. So we will not be live on Friday, guys. But Wednesday is going to be our final Valentine's project for you guys for this year. And it's going to be quicker than this. It's going to be a quick last minute gift. So once you have all of those glued and stuck, now you want another pretty one. So you have 4 to pick from, and you're going to put your next pretty one right on the top of that. So we're going to glue that up. Make sure you pay attention to the edges because they need to be nice and flush. And I have one that popped loose on me. It's very important that those do wrap around and get in there. I was able to push them back in. And give that a good rub. And we're going to set that to the side to dry for just a second. You're going to do the same with the top piece, guys. You're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to do the inside first, and then you're going to do this side. But I'm going to let those dry, and we're going to do this side because I don't want that to get too wet and knock those loose. And again, I'm going to start with the big tab, and you want your pretty side in. We're just going to line those up. Yeah, it dries clear anyway, so it's no worry about this glue. Clear and matte. Now, if you're using shiny paper, you're going to have to be very careful because it will dry matte. Yeah, I love that box. It turned out really good. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here and let it start getting sticky. It started raining here. You finished your bunny wreath today? How did it turn out? You got to post pictures, Geraldine. Somebody else posted theirs. It turned out really cute. They added some pops of color to theirs. It was really, really cute. Yeah, we're going to start working on some Easter. Does anybody want any St. Patty's Day things? I mean, a lot of stuff that we do can be changed to any theme, but did anybody want anything specific? If you do, don't forget to let me know. Message it to me. I think somebody said something about showing all the flowers in different types of paper. I am going to try to do that come spring, where we can show, I don't know about showing all the rolled flowers, but I may pick one or two and do those two in all the different types of paper so that you can see how they look. 60 pound, 80 pound, pearl, just so you can see what they look like. Felt. Do them from different materials, just so you guys can have a visual. Hey, Judy. Oh, you did put it on the Facebook page? Yeah, if you didn't put it on there, I'll go through there and look. I have been super busy, and I will admit, I haven't been able to look at everybody's projects this week. But I will go in there and take a peek tonight and try to get caught up in there. Okay, so I'll grab hold. Once I get this to grab, then we'll put that piece on and we'll go back to the other. So yours should be looking something like this at this point. And then we want a pretty piece on top. I usually have a fine tip on there, but you do need a good bit of glue on these edges to catch all of those tabs. Make sure you line it up good. I'm just going to flip it over, making sure that I get enough glue. I don't care if it squirts out. I just want to make sure that those tabs are secured in there. And now we're going to go back to this piece. And we're going to start with our pretty piece to the inside. Okay? Same as we did the other. So I'm just going to run a little bit of glue. I don't want that much. See if I can. This is the Anna Griffin, the Cricut Anna Griffin Rose Medley, Judy. I do better if I can flip it over, but then you guys can't see. Just going to line this tab up here. If you get that one in line, you just about have it made at this point. It gets easier when you do the second layer. Just want to wait on that glue to grab. I almost guessed it right. I have one tab that, there we go. I always get one tab to the inside. I don't know how. That's how. Oh, yeah. You can push them up out of your way so that doesn't happen. I'm just gonna see if I can't give them a little push down, make sure they're sticking right. There we go. Just check inside, make sure these tabs are not stuck down, but these over here are, so I'm not really worried about them. I'm just gonna put a little glue under them, and then I'm gonna put my piece on here. It'll be fine. They'll stick. Just want to line it up. Just distribute that glue. Make sure it's all stuck really good. I'm grabbing a baby wipe here, guys. There we go. Some of this glue off my hand, off my mat. So I'm just going to set that to the side to dry, and we're going to put this other piece on, and we'll be done. It's that easy. And again, you want your pretty to the inside on this one. Give that glue just a second to set up. It wants to be stubborn. There we go. And now we're going to start walking these over. You have to go watch it over. Yeah, at the beginning we did our lesson on Design Space, where we covered using Design Space images and slicing. Last week or the last video, I want to say on Friday, we covered slicing. But we sliced up some Design Space images this week to create a different image. And we have some other things coming for you guys that are new. Well, everybody. Some new things coming up for everybody. We'll be working on those in the next week or so. Just bear with us. We got some stuff coming down the pipes. What's happening with me is I keep getting one tab on the underneath side, and when I pull it up to get it, then I mess up what I already glued. It's gonna go. I'm gonna make sure it goes. It's gonna have to stop fighting me. When you're transferring a design to wood or glass, you should mirror. On wood, no, not really. If you're making a stencil you're going to paint, it should be the right way. It should be just like you would if you were putting vinyl on. You shouldn't have to change it. On glass, you'll want to mirror only if you're putting it on the inside of the glass. I think that's what you're asking me. You would always mirror when you're going on the inside of the glass. And you want it to read correctly. Just like you would if you were doing a t-shirt with iron on. Okay. Finally, that little booger went. Just going to press those down. I'm going to put those tops on here. I'm going to line that one up. This really is a cute little box. The pretty things are usually a little more difficult, but it's going to be worth it. And now this one is dry, so when you're putting this one on, oops, that one popped loose. I didn't get that glued well, did I? There we go. Don't want to glue my lid on. Make sure your glue is dry because you don't want to glue it on. And you're just going to slip this one on. I know it looks like it doesn't meet up, but it's not on there all the way up. And then you're going to put this one on as well, and then you're just going to pull them together. Mine's still wet, guys. I have to wait a minute. But he will go on there, and it will line up. I don't want to glue it, but you can see that it is going. How cute! I want to take it off because I don't want to glue it together. It's still wet. You don't want to put these lids on until they're good and dry. See, this is still sticky because there's a lot of glue on those little tabs. I'm going to say let them dry for about an hour, but they will go on there. I'm going to show you with these. You're going to just place them over that heart and into that V and then bring it around and it will fit. You can see. And then the same here. This one just slides on. You're going to have a little bit of a gap there, but I couldn't find a way to avoid that. You got to have some way of knowing that it's going to come apart. So you can add anything to the front of it that you want, just to one side or the other. If you want to hide that little bit of a gap. And it may be just that my paper warped. I don't know. Because it fits together really well on the other side. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it is that my paper warped. I don't know. But I still love it. Just going to slip this back on so you guys can see how the flowers do meet back up. And again, you can put a little heart on the front of it. You can put whatever, just glue it to one side or the other. Don't glue it on both sides. And it will fit together a little bit closer than what that did once I get it dried. I lost my heart. There it is. You can stamp your image or punch it out. But do not, I'm serious, guys, don't put it on there until it's had time to dry, okay? Because then you're never going to get it apart. Yeah, I think that's the paper warping because it does fit. Even here when it's sitting, it pops apart. So, yes, please hit the like button, subscribe. Anybody have any other questions? Anything that we didn't cover? Anything in Design Space? You might be right, Sue. It might be upside down from my lid. I may have done that. That is quite possible, yes, because see how that's meeting? That's Sue's so smart. There we go. How cute. That's what it is. Swap them around if you've got a big gap, guys. Good thinking, Sue. But you're going to have a little bit of a gap. I mean, because it is split lid. And we stuck paper on the inside of it. I may make this maybe 1/10 of an inch smaller. And that might do it too. If I do it like 0.10 smaller. Yes, you could have a ribbon right here that ties it in the middle. If you're going to do that though, and I was going to say that, I had ribbon here to remind me. Before you glue the top on, the top pieces, after you've got it all glued, before you glue this piece on, glue your ribbon in there on each side. Glue it in there. And then put your cover on. But you could also do your chompers and chomp and put rivets in there and do your ribbon that way too. Why does the font give an option to download now? Let's see what Connie's talking about. Let's take a trip over to... Okay, I'm in Design Space. And why does the font give an option to download? I know, I don't. No, I don't. So I have some text. I am not seeing it. Oh, okay. I think I see what she's getting at. Yeah, that's all it is. The Cricut fonts, yeah. So that when you go to save, that you can, oops. I need to get a Cricut font. I don't want to do that. I want to cancel. I forgot where it's at because I haven't even paid any attention to it, honestly. No, Connie, you're not offline. The only time that you're going to be off, when you're offline, you're going to see an orange offline button. And I'm online, so it may not populate for me. I can't go offline because then I'll lose everybody and everything. You're online unless your internet goes out or it shuts off. Your Wi-Fi, exactly, Jamie. And then you'll see the orange button. You're not going to see that work offline button, that orange button, unless you are offline. Does it show on the Cricut website? We can pull that up. We can pull that up and show you. That's the thing, Connie. You still have to be online to get your images and save your images for offline. And I'll show you here in just a minute in my, whenever you save, it's going to save it for online and offline use. But you have to, we're going to take you over to the FAQs. What does it mean to design offline? It means that you can design and edit and cut your projects without an internet connection, okay? That is number one. Will it sync across all devices? Yes. It's going to go across all of your devices because it's attached to your account. Can you use your Cricut Access content offline if you're not an Access subscriber? Then here's where it starts to get tricky. If you're offline and you haven't saved any of your projects for offline use, you're not going to be able to use them. Can you sign into Design Space if you're not connected to the internet? And here's where it gets tricky. No. So if your internet goes out and you are offline, you're not getting in. So that's one of the things they know, and they are working on it. Because right now, if I were to log out of my Design Space and my power or my internet went out, not my power, because if my power goes out, I'm not doing anything. If my internet goes out and I was logged out of Design Space, I can't do anything. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help me at all. You have to be logged in. That's why you don't log out, but every 30 days, I think it forces a log out every 30 days. So if it forces you to log out, make sure you log out and you log back in. Because if you lose internet, if you don't log back in, you're not getting in until you're back online. Right. Unless you have logged out of Design Space, you should not have an issue to use the offline. So make sure you're not logging out. And right here it tells you to sign into Design Space, you will need an internet connection. Well, this is the thing right here, guys. If you go in and you can go to your settings on an iPad, your phone, and Design Space. And if you've got, or desktop, if you have several devices, generally your phone is going to pick up something and you'll be able to log in with your phone. If you want to use your desktop and you're offline, your phone will usually pick up somebody's Wi-Fi somewhere, or you should be on a network, your service provider's network, so that you can get logged in. But it will be for that device. So you won't be able to get into your laptop, say, and go in there unless it's on that same service. You have to have some kind of a service and be logged in to use the offline if your internet goes out. I know it's confusing. I know it is. But you can come in here, and right here it shows you settings. You want to save offline, cloud, and computer. That way it's saved to your computer, and then if anything happens and you're logged in when it happens, or you haven't logged out of your Design Space, you'll be able to work offline for the things that were saved offline. Now, what's saved offline? If I go to my projects, anything new that you do after you've switched that on, you're going to see that it is saved for offline use. Okay? Right here. And you can delete the offline copy and all that. I don't recommend you delete anything, especially if you see duplicates. If you go into your projects and you see duplicates, do not delete them. You will be deleting your files. Clear your application cache. We have a link for that. So don't remove any duplicates when you see them in there. Don't do that. You will lose your files. But you will see that these are for offline copy. If I go down in here deep, I might have some. Like this one is not saved for offline. I have a duplicate right there, but those are actual duplicates because I probably uploaded something into one of them at some point. Right here, I have not saved that for offline use. I can click on those three dots, simply click Save for Offline, and now it's going to be saved so that if I want to cut that when I'm offline, I can. So anything that if you know, let's say you know you're going to go camping and you know there is no Wi-Fi, you'll want to come in and mark everything that you're going to want to work on while you're gone offline. You're going to want to log in on all the devices that you want to use, and you'll want to mark to save which projects you want to use. So then when you get out there in the wilderness and you're camping, you can open up Design Space because you were logged in when you left, so you will be fine, and now you're offline and you can work. Does that make sense? Right. I rarely have any issues. And okay, Jamie, that's what is that what the step I was missing? Let's go to the text so that I can answer that. So if I go to the text and choose Cricut font, I have the option to download each one. So why doesn't it ask me? Oh, I see, right here. I saved that one for offline. That's not a Cricut font. Oh, I see, right here, download. There they are. It just wasn't highlighting because I never put I very rarely go in here. I usually am doing my own text in an SVG. But yeah, that's what it is. If you think you're going to want to use it for offline use, you're going to want to click download and download those. I thought it was asking her when she saved if she wanted to, and I was like, I haven't seen that. That's what it is. But remember, you do have to be logged in. Don't log out of your Design Space. When I close out, all I do is click that X and quit. And that way, if I were to go offline, I can come over and I can click my Cricut C, and it's going to open up without asking me to log in. So that's what you want to make sure of. Don't log out. Yes. It's automatically going to save every image and font you've used in your projects, and that way you have it for offline use. So if I come into a totally new project and I go to images and I'm offline, anything that I have saved for offline, you see right here, anything that I have used offline, it's going to be there for me to work with. If there's something else, if you know that you're going to want to use it, you're going to want to save that. You're going to want to insert it into an image, or, I'm sorry, down at the bottom. Let me go back. Go back to images. It's on the bottom. When you click on one, like this one, you see right here, download. So I can download that image, and you can see that the spinning wheel, now that one is saved for offline use. No, you can use it for both. This is an indicator that you have those available to you to use should you find yourself without internet, as long as you have been logged in. Don't log out. Don't come up here. So I know a lot of people have a habit sometimes of coming up here and signing out. If I do that and I sign out and my internet goes out 5 minutes later, I'm not getting back in. and I have to wait on internet to log in. So I'm not going to see anything because I can't get in without internet. But as long as I stay signed in, because see, here's the part that's going to be missing. I don't know my password. Honestly, I have to look it up. Yeah, I have to look up my password. See, hopefully you guys can see and hear me again. My OBS crashed. I hope that cleared it up, guys. If you still have questions, make sure you go over to those FAQs. I should be back now. I'm back. Thanks. Yeah, OBS crashed on me. It's been doing that off and on. I had to completely reinstall it, and it's still crashing. But yeah, do not log out. I think every 30 days it will force you to log out. Log right back in. And I did ask the question, and I think that they said you would be okay. Let's say that you were logged in for 22 days and you go out of town for 14. Are you going to stay logged in? You should. Because if you're still offline for that amount of time, it shouldn't be prompting you to log back in because you're not connected to the internet for it to tell you that. So, but as soon as you hit internet, then it's probably going to log you out and ask you to log back in. So just be aware. If you plan on being on vacation to work offline for 2 weeks, log out before you go and sign back in, and you know you're good. All right. Well, I'm sorry this one ran over a little bit of time, but I didn't want to leave anybody hanging with any of their questions. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Ko-fi and Patreon supporters. Thank you, moderators. I appreciate your help. Thank you to all of my subscribers. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on Wednesday at 7.